Hello everybody, Helcrex here, and welcome to another Mercenary Thoughts from the Inner Sphere. Well, today we're going to be talking about the Nighthawk, a mech that's been around for, I guess, a long time, since the Star League era, but hey, for some reason it was never in the Star League book, so it's kind of a retcon thing. Alright, the Nighthawk is 35 tons, it's a 690. Once again, we're falling into that same category as the Wolfhound. And it's like, is this something that's better than a Wolfhound? Let's take a look. All right, like I said, it's a 690, doesn't have jump jets. It has a XL engine, 112 points of armor, so basically 7 points short, so half a ton short of maximum, which could easily have been rectified with something called ferrofibrous armor. And then we have, for armament, we have a large laser in the center torso, an ER large laser in the right arm, and a medium pulse laser in the left arm. No hands. No hands to be seen anywhere with this thing. Alright, so what do I think of this mech? Well, give me a Wolfhound. But, it's just delve into what I think in more detail. Now, you have a ER large laser. I don't have a problem with that. That's, to me, an ER large laser is probably the go-to weapon to put on a light mech. Weighs 5 tons, puts out a little bit of heat. If you have an ER, you might be able to throw on some XL engine, not XL engines, but double heat sinks. Wow, what am I thinking? You can put 10 double heat sinks on a mech like this and dissipate all that heat with no problem. All right. Now, you do have 12 heat sinks, doubles, which dissipates 24. All right, let's just do the math here. We got 12 from the ER, 8 from the large, and 4. So there's 24. You run, it's 26. You can do that 2 turns. And then you have to figure out, probably shut down the pulse laser or something. And then you're trying to run away, but not very fast. In the era of the 3058, yeah, a 6.9 really isn't that fast. That thing needs to be bumped up to a 711. It needs a factory refit or a factory redesign to a 711, a Slurpee. So, yeah, 6.9 is not quite going to cut it anymore. As much as I love my Wolfhounds, 6.9 is, well, kind of slow, especially for a 35-ton mech. Yeah, you got the Puma, but, that's a clan mech with some clan weaponry, and at least it has the firepower to stand off at a distance and clean up house. Nuking things from a distance. This thing, not necessarily the fact. Now, I always look at this as a flanking type mech at the 6.9. It's more of a cavalry. It's not a recon mech by any means, the way it's designed. So it's a flanker cav mech. So you're running around the flanks, and then later in the game, when things are more engaged and have ripped up targets and everything, this is when this starts coming in and rolls the flanks up and starts hitting those open juicy parts that might be on some of those larger mechs. Damage output, not bad. You're looking at some decent amount of damage output with it. 20-something points possible. So it's like later in the game, that's going to add up. And when you got an ER large, yeah, you can roll around the flanks at 19 to 15, 19 range and just sit there and plink away and hope that something sticks without having to worry about heating up. It's not until you get in close, almost point blank range, where that medium pulse laser is going to start adding that heat that you're going to be dealing with. So it can do that all day. That's the one nice thing about this mech. But, you got XL engines, and it's like it can take in the right torso 13. So if it gets hit by an ERPPC or a Gauss rifle, it's through the armor into the internal structure. Well, and then you're sitting there going, well, crud. You're sitting there hoping that they don't get that engine hit or something else. At least it doesn't have to worry about blowing up. Now, that's how I always envisioned this Nighthawk. It was not a mech that's like, hey, scream at me that I need to give up my wolfhounds instead of one of these. It's like, now some people may like them. That's fine. That's not a problem. The firepower is not too bad. I can understand why they might want to take it in the game, but you know, that's how I feel about it. Now, there are a couple other versions of this mech. Let's just look here. There's the clan, was it Smoke Jaguar version, because this was part of the Inner Sphere. Odds, you know, it sounds like there was a few of them that got taken with them into the Exodus. So, okay, there you go. Because the factory started up in what 2655, I think it was. Yeah, because they delivered them to the Star League. And then in 2945, the factory got nuked and then had to be rebuilt, which didn't happen until 3055. Okay. But there is the EC version of this, is early clan. So they had some of these early clan version. Instead of having the medium pulse, they had an ER medium laser and a half more ton of armor. Okay, so makes total sense to me why they would do that. And if you had a clan version of this, you know, you'd have probably 2 ER large lasers, and then you would have an ER medium laser with your heat sinks to go with it. So yeah, it's once again your movement's adding up heat. So that's one way to look at that one. But that comes in a little over 1,000 battle value. The standard version comes in just slightly under 1,000 battle value. So a little bit different. Now, there's the 2P version. This is the lower tech version, introduced in 2853. Okay, this one was produced before the destruction of the factory, so you don't have a ER large laser. You got 2 large lasers, and I think it was 2 medium lasers. So there, along with 12 heat sinks. Yeah, this probably runs pretty hot. Oh, yeah, that's kind of interesting though. Okay, then we have the 2S version. This one later on, this came out down the line. It runs in around a little over, about the same amount of battle values you have with the clan version of it, just a little over 1,000. This one gets rid of a heatsink and the medium pulse laser and gives it Guardian ECM and active Beagle probe. So now you have a large laser and an ER large laser as your only armament on board. But, you know, you're running around with 11. So you dissipate 22 heat. It's not going to heat up at all because the most you're going to create is 20 heat, 22. So it's a net 0. The only time you're heating up is if someone hits you with an Infernal pack or you take an engine hit. So there. But, you know, they say it makes it into a scout mech. Well, yes, on the periphery, maybe. Against more high-tech mechs or against the clans, no, that doesn't make it a scout mech, because when you're facing off against clan scout mechs, yeah, those things will run circles around this mech in a heartbeat. So yeah, it's one of those mechs that gets stuck into the peripheral states, or if you got a house is running one of these, yeah, it's probably not going to see too much action against higher tech targets. So, because otherwise it's going to get overclassed pretty quickly. So, now what I would do with this thing, it's pretty simple. To be honest, I kind of like the Scout version a bit. Now, if I was going to do this would be a factory refit or redesigned from the factory get-go. I would bump it up to a 711. All right, drop one of the just a large laser, drop it in favor of Guardian ECM and get rid of the pulse laser. And I would have probably 3 medium lasers and maybe a flamer, or you could have a 4th medium laser without the flamer. Personally, I kind of like the flamer version because then at least you have something to deal with infantry because you're getting rid of the pulse. So there. Or else if you really care about it, you could always downgrade 1 medium laser to 2 small lasers. Okay, something of that nature. But I like the idea of a flamer. So at least with a flamer, it's more versatile because you can light fires. Hit a target, come up to a building and say, I don't like that wooden structure. Whoosh, unleash a flamer into it and burn it and lay down a screen of smoke if need be. If there's infantry in that said building, you can burn them out, really quickly. That kind of thing. That's what I kind of like, the idea of having a flamer instead. So maybe it's, since it is a light mech, make it an arsonist type mech. There you go. But as a 711, you could, by getting rid of the large laser, that puts the tonnage into the upgrading the engine. And you could put ferrofibrous armor on it to make up the difference of your missing 8 points. That's just easy enough. And even if after the fact, even if you have one of the other versions drop the medium pulse laser in favor of, say, 2 medium lasers instead, or a medium laser and a flamer, leaving you with a large laser and E-large, and then put ferrofibrous on it, at least you'd upgrade the armor a little bit back to maxing it out pretty quickly. But that's it. That's the Nighthawk. It needs a little bit of tweaking to make it a little better. Mainly, it's like you got an XL engine on it, you might as well kick it up to a 711. That makes the difference between, heck, you move 7 as a walk, you're moved into a +3 mod right there. And if you run, that gives you that 4 mod right off the bat. And if you have to move into some type of, let's say, light wood or something, or even heavy wood, it gives you more options to move with your movement modifier plus anti-terrain modifiers to keep this thing alive. And that's the important thing with light mechs like this, especially if you're running XLs. All right, that is it in a nutshell. I hope you guys like it. So like and subscribe, share with your friends, and we'll see you in the next one. Elkrix out.